Hey, peace and blessings to you. My name is Jerry B. I am the EntreMusician, and so are you. And so is this captivating young songwriter we're going to present in today's episode. I got to tell you, you are going to absolutely love this episode. You're going to play it over and over again. As you know, I am intrigued by those EntreMusicians who not only have achieved status and success, but those who are just starting out in their career and they are getting their music out there by any means necessary. And this young lady from Ontario, Canada has stolen my musical heart because she is a songwriter. And she doesn't play any instruments at all, but she has found a way to connect with her music, to collaborate with others, to build a wonderful website, and to get her music to the people. And, you know, my soul is just so happy. This is Anna Nicholson from Ontario. How are you, dear heart?
I am awesome. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for taking the time out to join us. I mean, ever since I've checked you out online and I've gone through your website and I've watched your videos and I've seen your heart and soul, you know, I fell in love, in musical love for sure. Congratulations to all that you have done and what you are building.
Thank you so much. That's very kind. It's exciting and it's scary. I'm kind of venturing off into a world that not many are doing. So writing songs without music is a peculiar label, and it's not understood by many. Most people expect to hear songs with music, and when they don't know what to do with that. And complement that with the fact that, you know, I sing, but I don't have, you know, the typical voice of many of the singers out there. So it's an interesting way for me to present my material, and sometimes I feel like I'm not even worthy of the name musician because there is no music to be heard. And yet, everything I do has a melody and lyric. And it's just an unusual way of approaching it.
Absolutely. I was going to say, on the contrary, I hear music when I watch your videos and I hear the lyric and the melody and the way that it's presented. And that's absolute raw, honest, organic music for sure. Tell me, where do you find your fire? I mean, when you said, "Well, look, I can't play anything, but I have these songs being downloaded into my spirit," what gave you the tenacity to just get out there anyway?
Well, you know, it's everything's a bit of a journey and a process, and sometimes we don't realize what's happening until it's happened. And what I mean by that is I was going through a very, very hard time, you know, in life, as most people do at some point. And I needed an outlet. And I used to write songs in my teens, and I went back to that because it's quick and easy for me, as compared to, say, painting, which I love to do as well. And that's a great creative outlet when I need, you know, that kind of headspace. But songwriting is a lot easier. So I started to do that, and songs just started pouring out of me. I guess, you know, after so many years of built up emotion, built up thought, built up experience, different things that you go through, I had a lot of stuff to write about, as it turns out. And um and I just started going with it. I captured a melody, I put some lyrics to it, put a sound to it, put a vibe to it, and I did that a few times, and all of a sudden I had 3 songs that I kind of put away in my drawer and didn't think about them anymore. But they kept coming, and they would wake me up in the middle of the night. They demanded my attention, and so I started to, you know, capture them and work them through and massage them and build them. And all of a sudden I had 10. And then all of a sudden I had 20. And when I got to that point, I started to realize, well, it's no longer just an outlet. What am I going to do with it? Because now I have a body of work. It's an actual body of work. And it just caught up to me. It wasn't anything that I set out to do. It just kind of happened, and I'm letting it direct me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. The interesting thing though is again with respect to your tenacity of reaching out to collaborators and saying, well, you know, I mean, because you have a spectrum of various songs on your website, and we're going to well, we have it up on the screen. We're going to make sure that people have links and access to you with regard to that. But I mean, the acapella stuff you have, which is beautiful work. You cross all kinds of genres, but then you also have these songs which are demos and songs that are finished. What is your procedure, if you would share it with us, in how you reach out to others to collaborate with them? Do you allow them just to hear your lyrics and say, "Hey, I have a song for that," or do they have a piece of music and you guys kind of come together? What is that process?
Yeah, so it happens a bunch of ways. So I have taken a song, for example, and I've shopped it around. There was one song I had that I didn't know what the music could be. I had the melody, but you know, when you all you have are the words and the tune, um, how how you package it, you know, the final product could be very different depending on who you work with. So I shopped that song around to three people. I had a rock version of it, I had a country version of it, and I had a pop version of it. And these guys were, you know, not well known multi instrumentalist producers, which is usually what I look for because it's easier to work with one person that could do a lot. We get done much more faster when they have the ability and the skills to you know, do all kinds of things. So and from the three versions that I had, I was then able to pick the one that I thought the song was aligned to the most, and I went with that. But in all cases, I couldn't have imagined what they would have given me, and it's always there's an element of surprise and aha moments, and sometimes you think, no, that's not it at all. That's not the direction I have for this, and it's not my style. But you just pick the people, and it's not easy. And some people don't they can't hear what I'm giving them either. I find that most musicians that are self-taught, musicians that are incredibly creative, they have a very creative mind, a high creative IQ. They can grasp it, but a lot of others don't. So it's very tricky finding the right person. But I basically get out there and I fish. You know, here's what I do. Can you hear anything? If you hear anything, does it inspire you? Is the next question. Because if they're just mechanically going to produce or create something for me, that's not going to work. It has to come. They have to have a fire. They have to have, you know, their own thing that's going to add magic to it, or it's going to be mediocre. And I don't want mediocre. I'm too old for mediocre. I need to get to the thing now.
Oh my goodness! Now that's an absolutely wonderful answer. Well, tell me, what about the name of your music and your website? You call it Indian Gypsy. Is that personal to you in some way, or what is that?
Oh, it's so personal to me. You know, I don't know why. Uh, Maybe it's in my DNA somewhere. But so I'm Greek, and I immigrated here from in Canada from Cyprus. Cyprus is a country that, you know, has had many, many different kinds of people crossing the lands over the centuries, and I don't know, but the notion of a gypsy, for some reason has always, I don't know, resonated with me, and I love everything that it means in terms of a free spirit, in terms of someone who is connected. You know, we have the typical stereotype of a gypsy with a crystal ball. Yeah, that's fun, but just somebody who's connected with more than just what is present here, visible, that we can see, but connected with the world in many ways. And I believe in spirit. And I also, for some reason, coming here since I was 2.5, and we have of course, a lot of Indigenous people here. for some reason, the Indigenous culture really resonated with me too. And I always felt very close to uh, that kind of spirit, and the two combined. And when I was writing music as a teenager, I used to use that name. Just those two energies combined helped me get in touch with the creator and that creative spirit. And as an adult, that just got more powerful, actually. And I had to go back to that name. And it was a tricky thing too, even with the name, because in today's day and age, they've changed. The word Indian became a bad thing. And so I had to really second guess, um, propriety, and am I going to offend anybody if I put that in my actual name for the business, the label, the brand. But I couldn't deny it, though. I had to. It needs me and I need it, and it has a reason for being here, and I am so attached to the two spirits, and so that is why the name is what it is. It is a creative source in either case.
That's excellent. Absolutely excellent answer. Now, what age were you when you wrote your first song?
When I wrote my first song, I may have been 13, 14 when I wrote my first song. And it probably wasn't very sophisticated then. But it was a first, and it was one of many. And as I got a little older and into my angst filled teen years, and my teens, I listened to pop music, Chaka Khan, we'd go dancing, we would have the heavy metal exposure, all the metal bands, the long hair, the glam rock, the hard rock. Those were my influences, and they served very different purposes. And that's kind of where I was going with that. I found that the metal piece is where I ended up writing the most, because that's where my emotion was at. It was hard being a teen. It was hard not having material things that all your peers had, growing up as an immigrant, and not having the privileges that some others that have been here multi generations have established themselves have. I didn't have that, so I had a lot of things to write about. And I found metal was really the like Queensryche, they were so into their words compared to some of the other bands. The lyrics were important to them. They had important messages to talk about. That's the kind of stuff that I wrote a lot about. But of course, pop comes up because it's fun, and I am multifaceted.
You really are, and your body of work reflects that, because I don't think there's a genre that you haven't yet touched on. I can recall one of the first conversations we had online, and in your description of yourself, you just hit everything. It was like, every genre was kind of covered, because you have inspiration for that, and you can write into that genre of music. It was really cool. And I think you said, I don't want to misquote you, but you're close to 100 songs in your library.
Yes, yeah, I'm probably over that now, but in terms of the ones that I've posted, I'm close, and I'm behind on posting as well. And I have a backlog. I have a backlog of songs that I need to get to. So, but yeah, it's no longer about the count. But it is funny. It's when you talk about just the writing piece, I find that. They just flow. The writing just flows. And back in the earlier days, when I was first doing this for fun as a teen, and it was therapy too as a teen. It was better than journaling. It was where I addressed issues of that needed resolution, and I couldn't figure it out on my own until I went in and pulled it out and looked at it and inspected it and wrote about it and sang about it, and then I could let it go. And so that whole healing process of songwriting was one thing, but because I was so, as a teen, you're so stuck in the genres that you are ascribing to. And as an adult, I find that some of these songs that come to me now, they don't even fit in them sometimes. Sometimes and I think, ugh. In my teens, I would have had some of these songs and I would have dismissed them, put them away. That doesn't sound like, Queensryche or nowadays Evanescence, or that doesn't sound like that. I'm not touching that. Um, but now I don't care. I am really trying to be open to the source. I'm really trying to let things come to me and not judge them. And I think maturity helps in that way. And really, the advantage for me is that I don't care. I'm doing this because I love it. It's not because I am expecting anything. And so the love and passion gives me a freedom that I wouldn't have had as a teen who was trying to, come up for stuff for a band, for example, or, meet other people's expectations. And so I find now that I'm even creating songs in a genre of their own.
Hmm. Well, here's a question. Then, this 13-year-old Anna who wrote her first song. I know she, and in the way you describe your music, she may have been coming from a very personal situation, and that one song went into three, into 20, as you described earlier. But when did it stop being, or I shouldn't say stop, but when did it morph into, well, this can become a profession where I can take these personal lyrics out of experiences that I've had, but I can share them with others and, in a sense, begin to monetize the gift that I've been given? Was there like a dimmer switch, or was there a light switch that was like, boom, yes, this is what I want to do. I can do it.
It's a process. Um, I think there's a lot of value in good lyrics. I think there's a lot of value in creativity, and I believe there are niche markets out there that exist that I haven't even tapped into yet, that might actually like what I do even without music. And one of my friends was even suggesting, oh, you could do oh just just vocal. What do they call that now? I'm trying to think of the name, where it's just voice, and it's voiceover, but it's just they can sing, they can rap, they could whatever they're doing, but it's only just the voice. And I listened to some of that kind of work, and they have, yeah, spoken word. Yes, thank you. And it's funny, but the spoken word actually uses a lot more words than I do, and I thought I had enough. So I'm pretty good with where I'm at. But there's a niche market out there, I think, for all kinds of different things. But when I think I started to recognize the value in what I was doing when I was delivering, creating things that were fitting in different pockets. And I actually liked the melodies more than what I was hearing on the radio. And I thought, well, why can't, even my own voice, which I'm critical of, I actually like the way it sounds, even as it is. And and I'm thinking, I can listen to voices now, and I see the production and the songs, and not everybody's got a perfect voice either. So I think that writing a cappella has given me the opportunity to be, yes, more critical, but also to be more open, because I realize the potential of what I do so simply, and what it can be if it actually was, produced, and had the supporting music and the right voice, because I don't always assume that it's going to be my voice at the end of it. I do envision other voices singing my songs. Some of them are raspy, some of them are, they all have a different vibe for the final product. But yeah, I think it was just when I could look back, and I felt that there was a quality to the storytelling. And I was writing stuff about suicide. I was writing stuff about, obvious heartbreak, addictions, uh, abusive relationships, homeless youth, um, you know, key issues that we all face, that we have as being slightly older than most singers. We have the advantage of having rich, soulful stories. And when I was looking at the melodies and the stories I was actually capturing, and they meant a lot to me, I thought, these are good. I like these. And that's when I thought I could maybe do something more with them.
Wow. I tell you what, I love your answers. I love your introspective, and I love the fact that again that you just absolutely go for it. I mean, I did not expect to see, and this is a couple days have gone by, but I did not expect to see the volume of work that you put on YouTube. And it sounds to me, and you can correct me or tweak me if I'm off track here, but it sounds to me like you just held up a recorder and you just went for it and you posted it. And it's like,
I
hey, this is
do.
the song. Is that right?
I do. And it's not always easy, Jerry, because um I have two girls, and they are so embarrassed that their mom dares to put anything on social media without music. And they listen to all kinds of current hip hop and rap stars, and they've got this great sound and these big bass, and I don't compare to any of that. So they are absolutely embarrassed, and I've heard nothing but, "Mom, take that offline. Mom, don't do that. Mom, you're embarrassing us." So I've had an earful of that. I have had an earful of people, when sometimes I reach out to producers and I say, "Hey, here's what I've got." and they'll look at me and they'll smile, and their smile is
Mm, mm,
like they're feeling sorry for me kind of smile, and but they don't want to say anything, but oh, they'll say they're busy, or it's not really their thing, or but really in their head they're thinking, "You're crazy, lady." But so it's taken a lot of courage is what I'm saying. And I didn't think and then to actually take it even one step further and put up a profile like on a professional social network, right? Like that was a huge step, because now all of a sudden I'm it took me a long time to even get used to the fact that I did that, and people in my professional world would see me and not know what to do with me, because again, they didn't give any credibility to what I was starting.
right.
But flash forward a few years later, and I have all this work, and all of a sudden, people are starting to pay attention, and it's a journey, Jerry.
Yeah.
It's a journey, you know. But you got to take the bad, and sometimes listen, because maybe I was wrong and I should stop what I'm doing. But the thing is, I can't. And I've been down that road where I was at that crossroad, and I thought, am I insane? Am I like, what am I doing? Um, and yet I have that. I'm a conduit. I have no choice. These songs come to me at night. They come to me, when I'm driving. They come to me. They just come to me, and I can't say no. And I don't want to, because at the end of the day, I love it, and it really gives me an incredible sense of passion for life, and I feel like I'm honoring the source, and that's the important thing for me.
That is absolutely wonderful. And I got to tell you, I am so proud to hear you say that, to move beyond whatever embarrassment or shame or people feeling sorry for you, and you really expressing what's in your soul. I'm crazy too, then, because I absolutely love it. I applaud you. I am grateful to have met you and to just see the raw energy that says, as you did. I can't even add to what you've said. The songs come. I have to do this. That's the essence of being a musician, right?
It's so much fun. It is. It's a creator. We're creators. And but I feel it, that word is interesting, right? We are all creators. I
Yeah.
talk about this a lot with a friend of mine who's also a musician. And we take things out of thin air. Out of thin air, we take things and we turn them into something. And that is a gift, that is a gift. But I think musicians forget that part, because they have instruments and they fall under the label of musicians. But for me, I don't have that. And all I'm doing is creating. And and it's a special place. I think it needs to be done. Yeah.
It has to be done, and I'm grateful you're doing it. I mean, I don't know, I don't know what else to say. And it's like that's it. That's the essence of who we are. First of all, we do have a source who downloads into our spirit the melodies, the words, the rhythm, the whatever it is, the art, as you said, with respect to painting. And it's given to us, and it's given to us with a responsibility. We have a stewardship to share this. It's not for us. It's not so we can say, hey, look at how cool we are or great. This is a fantastic song. It's meant to be given to someone else, to share with someone who can identify with the experiences that we're trying to express. And to do it and to take your recorder and to say, okay, here it is, world. This is what was given to me is the ultimate form of courage. So I applaud
Or craziness, or craziness.
you know, we'll
But
set the craziness to the side because you have to be crazy to bear your soul in the first place. But it's a part of it, and it's courageous. It really is, and you've done it. So I want to tell you, who have been listening and watching this interview, please go to IndianGypsyMusic.com. Please go to her YouTube channel and his YouTube channel and check out this incredible body of work. You may not like it. Let's just say you don't like it. Let's just say there's something that you go, right? Like the producers that she talked about. But you have to stop and pause and honor the fact that she was willing to do it. And that's what flattened me. And I really am. I'm grateful. This is
thank you.
this is integrity right here. And you, my dear sister, are going to win. You are going to be a champion. Now, before I let you go, you have to answer this question. What is the story in light of all that we've discussed? What is the story that you continue to tell yourself to keep you going?
I think now, just touching on one thing that you said, even with all the negativity that I've had, the one thing that did keep me going, were just a handful of guitarists that I know, and they kept listening to my material. And they kept coming back with positive feedback. And I didn't think that they were just, stroking my ego or, faking it. I really think that they were genuine comments. And one of them continuously said, "You are a prolific writer. You are one of the most prolific writers that I know." And he's been in bands and music for 30 years. Like he's done it all. So hearing messaging like that as infrequently as I did, and low in numbers as I did, was enough to keep me going. And now it's kind of grown because I feel like I'm riding a wave, and I'm gaining momentum, and I'm meeting really wonderful people, and we're talking about more of the collaboration that you mentioned earlier. And I've got a female singer and guitarist that's helping me flesh out even again the next level up, so that there is some musical structure to my songs as well. She's one artist. I'm looking for a couple of others, and I think the excitement of the next step, the next level, is definitely what's keeping me going. And I'm also incorporating some photography into my music as well. You can always use good images for your lyric sheets or whatever you're doing. And branding, overall, just branding. There's so many facets to doing this on your own, and I have to say right now I'm not doing a great job because it's a lot for one person. But I'll get there, and it's just meeting people like you and opening more doors. That is what's keeping me going right now, because I don't know where this could go, but I'm going.
Man. And you're going to make it. And when you do make it, your girls are going to come back and say, "Mom, thanks." Thank you,
Oh, I
Mom,
can't
for putting
wait.
up the stuff
I
on
can't
YouTube.
wait. Eat your words, little girl.
That's
Oh,
absolutely right. Well, this is Anna Nicholson, and she's from Canada. She's anywhere she needs to be because she can get online and hang out and collaborate with you. Please check out her wonderful website. Please check out her music, and you will, I'm certain, feel as I do. Fall in love or hate it. Those are the only two options. There's no right? There's no in between, right?
but respected in the end. That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Well, any final words, or was there any question that you thought, hey, when Jerry asked me to be on this, I'm sure he's going to ask me this, but I haven't. Can you answer that unasked question?
Yeah, I think I was actually surprised at some of the questions that you asked, especially the one with the name, Indian Gypsy music. Um, that is very special, and you caught that. So you're fairly astute, Jerry. You're good at this.
I'm giving
Um,
it a shot. I'm trying.
yeah, no, I think you've answered everything. You've asked me everything. And is there anything left for me to mention? Just follow your dreams, and we hear that a lot, right? We hear that a lot. We read it a lot. I remember a few years ago, was it Tole? Was it one of those authors had mentioned something about you got to find your thing. And so here I am. You do the 9 to 5 every day. What's my thing? I don't know what my thing is. What's my thing? Is it here? I don't know. I'm 9 to 5 here. I got, what else am I doing? I'm raising 2 kids on my own. Like, what's my thing? I don't have time for a thing. I'm too busy as a single mom. What's my thing? But again, when I just got to that horrible place and I needed that outlet, and then that one song went from 1 to 3 to 5, and then I started to ask myself, is this my thing? So I would say to anybody who is looking for that inspiration and they have a clue, they may not even have a clue. Just follow what you're doing. Pay attention to what you're doing, because some of the things that you're doing already can lead you to where you need to go. And you just need to pay attention. That's all. Just sometimes we don't know what that special, unique gift that we are supposed to pursue for our life, for that ultimate life-changing moment. We don't know what that is, but it's under our nose. Sometimes it's under our nose. So I'm asking anybody that's listening, what's your thing?
That is absolutely beautiful. Well, again, I want to thank you so much for your time, and so grateful that you took the opportunity to share with us. You can go to her website. I want to say that again. Go, 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 go. Go to her website and learn more about her wonderful career, learn more about what she's doing, and you will be intrigued. This is what the EntreMusician is all about. Again, is not just those who have achieved the ultra iconic status, is those of us who are in the trenches day after day after day, getting the music out there, expressing ourselves. That's who we are. That's why we're EntreMusicians. That's why you are an EntreMusician. My name is Jerry B. Play this video as many times as you can. Share it with someone. Subscribe to our channel. And we will see you next time. You know that. God bless.